in our previous class, we've dealt with a few concepts in PHP, but right in this class, I want us to start looking at a concept called loops in PHP, so that we understand exactly how loops work in PHP. Then also in this class, we are going to look at how arrays work. Yeah, we're going to look at how arrays work in PHP, and yeah, arrays. We're going to look at how arrays work in PHP. Then finally, if we still have time, we can look at how if we look at loops and arrays, and we are going to look at how to create our own custom functions. Yeah, I was just about to get that. Yeah, how to work with custom functions in PHP. So right away, ladies and gentlemen, let's just create our new project. So the other time we created a project called project one with project one. The following class we created project two. In our previous class we created project 3. So in this class we are going to create project 4. Yeah, so that we can just go on and on and on like that. So right away, let's just hit on our PHP storm, create new project. Create new project. Then yeah, as you can see, our path is still the same. So let me just call this as project underscore 4. Project underscore 4. Yeah, then just hit on create. Like that. Then right away, yeah, in our project, right away we need to create right away we need to create a new PHP file. So just right click on your project, then just say new PHP file. Then this file, we can even just call it as file underscore 1. File underscore 1, then hit OK. Or just hit enter on your keyboard. File underscore 1. Just a minute, guys. Let me see what this is. Yeah, so right away, just create a new PHP project. Then inside our PHP project called project 4, right click, just a new PHP file. Then we have our file 1.php. Then definitely our opening PHP quotes right there. Hey. Yeah, so just after you've created your project like this, remember, before you do anything, just start your server. So our normal, if you are in Linux, our normal command to start this the server is sudo /opt lamp start. Then yeah, definitely it's going to ask for your machine password right there. Yeah, so my server is running, so that's okay. If I wanted to run this project, it's going to be quite easy. I would run it. So let me close it like that. Yeah, so right away we want to look at loops. So in PHP we have 4 types of loops, which have been categorized into 2: the while loops and the for loops. So in the while loops we have a while loop, a do while loop. Then in the for loop we have the for loop itself, then the for each loop. So right away, let's just let me even just comment here and say maybe PHP loops, or let me just call it loops, or let me start with a while loop. We're actually going to look at all the types of loops here. So while loop. Yeah, if you like my way of commenting stuff, you can copy that. Okay, so maybe let's say, so let's start with a while loop. So maybe let's say we have a variable, maybe x, which is at 0 right now. Sorry, I'm doing things in capital letter. X equals to something like, say, maybe 0. Isaac is coming on board. So x equals to 0. Assuming you have variable x which is at 0, so maybe we want to increment this variable x and continue printing out the values of that x until we get to, like, say maybe 10. So you write a loop. So while this variable x is just still less than maybe say or x, or is less or equal to maybe say 5, while x is just still less than or equal to 5, just continue echoing out, echo the values of x, echo the values of x, then just continue incrementing the x. Now, in this case, if you don't increment the x, I asked you guys to read about the these operators. So when I say x plus plus, I mean x increment or add a one to this x. Yeah. So this is what is going to happen, guys. So while x equals to 0, so let's start. So right now x is 0. Yeah, so we will start now. Right now x is 0, so it's like we are asking, is 0 less or equal to 5? Yes, it is less than 5. Then print that 0, then take that 0, add a 1 on it, go back again. Is 1 less or equal to 5? Yes, 1 is less than 5. Print that 1, add a 1 to that 1. We go to 2. Is 2 less or equal to 5? Yes, it is. Print that 2, add 1 to that 2. Go back again. Is 3 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is. Print that 3, add 1 to that 3. Go back again. Is 4 less or equal to 5? Yes, 4 is less than 5. So print that 4, add 1 to it. Go back again. Is 5 less than 5? No. Is 5 equal to 5? Yes, it is equal to 5. Print that 5, add a 1 to that 5. Go to 6. Is 6 less than 5? No. Is 6 equal to 5? No. Stop. The loop will stop from there. So that means it's going to print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you want to see how this is going to work, guys, let's just go and run this project in our browser. So right away, to run our project, let's just go on our browser. Yeah. Then just yeah, we are going to run using the localhost thing right up here. So right up there, just say localhost / our projects folder is called projects. Yeah, just enter. Then inside the projects folder, there's this project 4 of ours. Yeah, today we created a project called project 4. Yeah, so when I get inside the project 4, I will find inside there my file1.php, so that when I click on my file1.php, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's exactly what we've told it to do right here, right here, right here, right here. Yeah. So yeah, this is basically how the while loop works. So if we want to look at the do while loop, so let me just, instead of retyping the comment, let me first of all do a break here so that everything I do goes to a new line. So let me just do a BR tag right there. BR, that's a break tag. Then right away, yeah, let me say now I want to do the do while loop. Do while loop. Yeah, do while. Yeah, that there's another loop called the do while loop. Yeah, do while loop. So when you're working with the do while loop, this is what happens. Yeah, when you're working with the do while loop, so assuming you have maybe variable y, which is equal to maybe something like, say, maybe 10. Then you say maybe this is how the do while is written. So you say do maybe echo y, then y plus plus, then increment that y, while, then we do the while outside there, while, yeah, do echo the value of y, then increment it, while while y is just still less or equal to, say, 15. Now, this is what is going to happen. And remember, if you do the while loops without providing like the increment sign right there, so that the loop gets to a point where it is obsolete, then your machine, it is going to run infinitely, and it will slowly eat up the memory of your machine until the machine slows down, then it crashes, then you'll have to probably restart or reboot it or something like that. So you always need to provide some command that will make your loop obsolete. Yeah. So so right now this is what is going to happen. So do print y. So right now we are going to print 10, then add a 1. Yeah, we're going to print 10 here, then add a 1 on it. Then check, is 11 less or equal to 15? No, 11 is less than 15. Go back again, print 11, add a 1, go to 12 again. Is 12 less than 15? Yes, it is. Go back, print 12, add a 1, go to 13. Is 13 less than 15? Yes, it is. Print 13, add a 1 there, go to 14. Is 14 less than 15? Yes, it is. Print the 14, add a 1, go to 15. Is 15 less than 15? No. Is 15 equal to 15? Yes, it is. Print the 15, add a 1, go to 16. Is 16 less than 15? No. Is 16 equal to 15? No. Then just stop. Yeah. So the difference between the while loop and the do while loop is, the while loop, you start by checking the condition before you do anything else. But for the do while loop, you at least do something. You at least start by doing something before you start checking the conditions. Yeah, before you start checking the conditions. In this case, it is going to start by printing a value. It's going to print 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if I just come back here and refresh, you will see it's going to start with, yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, as you, if you look so very keenly, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, that's how it's been printed. Now, what if I put here a value like, say, 20? Then look at what this loop will do. Look at this loop will do. So it will start by printing, that 20, then add a 1 to that 20 to go to 21. Then again ask, is 21 less than 15? No. Is it equal to 15? No. It will just stop. So that means, in as much as this thing is already more than the condition, the do while will start at least by printing something like a 20, then just stop. But if we put something like, say 20 here, or 30, this loop will not do anything. This loop will not do anything, because when it just starts to look at the loop itself, this condition has already been it's already obsolete. Yeah. So when you are working with the while loops and the do while loops, the difference is, the while loop will start by looking at the condition. Yeah. So the while loop will start by at least looking at the condition first, but the do while will start by at least doing something before it proceeds. Yeah. So that's the main difference between the do while loop and the while loop. When we will be doing our projects, probably if we come across a situation where we need to use the do while loop, you will see how we are going to implement that. You are going to see how we implement that. But meanwhile, just know the difference, that a while loop will start by checking the condition before it does anything, but the do while loop will at least execute once. Will at least execute once, then yeah, start checking the condition right down there. Yeah. So this is while loop and do while loop. While loop and do while. Yeah, at least, yeah, that's it. So the very next thing that I would like us to look at is the for loop. So let me just echo a break here. Yeah, let me just echo a BR tag. then yeah, br tag. Then let me just copy these, paste it right there. I can just say maybe this is a for loop. Yeah, I'm working with a for loop. Yeah, for loop. Yeah, for loop. Yeah, I want to work with the for loop. Now, with the for loop, you don't really need to declare the variable like the way we have been declaring, like say variable y equals to, and maybe like say variable x equal. No. So for a for loop, its syntax is a little bit different. So we can simply say maybe for a certain variable, maybe variable I, which is at maybe 20. Let's start from 20 up to when variable I is just less or equal to less or equal to maybe 25. Then variable I plus plus. Then we can just say continue printing the values of I. Yeah, continue printing the values of I. Now, this, you can imagine how simple this is. You can imagine how simple this is. Now, this is what is going to happen. For a certain variable called x, which is at 20. So right now, I is at 20. Yeah, for a certain variable called I, which is at 20. So right now, I is at 20. So this is how the loop is going to run. Is 20 less than 25? Yes, it is. Print the 20, then add a 1 right there. We go to 21. Is 21 less than 25? Yes, it is. Print at 21, add a 1, go to 22. Is 22 less than 25? Yes, it is. Print the 22, add a 1, go to 23. Is 23 less than 25? Yes, it is. Print the 23, add a 1 right up there, go to 24. Is 24 less than 25? Yes, it is. Print the 24, add a 1, go to 25. Is 25 less than 25? No. Is 25 equal to 25? Yes, it is. Print the 25, add a 1, go to 26. Is 26 less than 25? No. Is 26 equal to 25? No. Then stop. So in this case, it's just going to print 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Yeah. So right now, if I just refresh my browser here, yeah, as you can see, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Clearly like that. So when you're working with a for loop, it is a little bit more precise. Yeah, it is a little bit more precise, but it's exactly the same concept, right? That we are doing right up here. And it is even much more precise when we are working with a for each loop. So, and the for each loop is going, the for each loop works with, works best with arrays, the very next concept that we are going to do. So ladies and gentlemen, just hold on a little bit. Let's go do the arrays. Then I will, when we'll be printing out the arrays using the for each loop, I will actually tell you. I will tell you that this is the for each loop and this is how we are working with it right now. But meanwhile, at least we have understood the while loop, the do while loop, and the for loop and the for loop. So yes, there is a for each loop. There is a for each loop. In fact, I can just start by maybe commenting it down here because we will come back to it. I promise we are going to come back to these. Let me just do a BR. Yeah, then at least we can just like say comment it right here, and I can say maybe I want to deal with the for each loop. Maybe, yeah, I can just say for each loop. Yeah, for each loop. Maybe I'm going to deal with the for each loop. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to deal with when we after we have done the arrays. We will come back to this file. We will come back to that file, And yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, we will come back to this file and do the for each loop right down here. But meanwhile, let's hold on there. Yeah. So in this very class again, I would like us to look at something called the user-defined functions or defined functions or custom-defined functions. Yeah. So right away, we can even just click on our project to create a new PHP file. New PHP file. We can just call it as maybe file underscore two. File underscore two. File underscore two. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, so whenever you're working with any programming language, there has always been something called a function or a method, yeah? And whenever you hear about any function, so this is the syntax of doing any function. So any function, for as long as it's a function, maybe the function is called maybe mark function. Always know that it is maybe mark, then bracket like that. Yeah, that is mark function. Maybe if it is maybe king function, then probably it's going to be something like, say, king function. Then maybe if it is maybe done function, remember it has to be something like, say, maybe done function, something of that kind of sort. Then remember every function will require to have maybe a body like that, or a scope. Yeah, a body like that. And remember, we are not creating this function inside this function right here. We are not creating that function within that function right there. Just to be a little bit more precise and orderly in your coding, everything must actually, the functions are going to be outside it. Every function is going to be independent, just like that. And remember, we are also going to start with a keyword called function called mark, then maybe function called maybe king, then maybe function called maybe done, like that. So these are three functions that I've just created right now. These are three functions that I've just created right now that are going to just work perfectly if I wanted to use them. But yeah, this is just an example to show you that whenever we are going to create a function needs to have a bracket like that and a scope. A bracket like that and a scope. And a bracket like that and a scope. Scope like that. Yeah. So right away, this is just an example to show you how we're going to do the functions. But meanwhile, let's just start by now doing maybe our first function. So maybe in this class, let's say maybe we are going to create a function called maybe, let's even just do the simplest of all. Maybe we are going to create a motor function. Yeah. So definitely I can just say maybe function, maybe motor function. Then it's scope like that. Yeah, motor function. Then whenever you work with a motor function, maybe whenever we use this motor function, it's just going to echo and say, hello, this is our motto. Yeah, hello, this is our motto. Yeah, maybe something of that kind of sort. So that whenever you want to use this function, then we can even maybe say also echo a break right there. Yeah, maybe, yeah, we can just do a break tag right there. Yeah, so that if we want to run these, yeah, let me just go and run this file too, so that you see what is going to happen before I call this function. So don't be bothered about the terminology calling a function, because I'm going to show you just in a few. Yeah, so right now let's just go and try to call these. Let's just go and try to call the motor function. So right away, let me just go on the browser. Then you see right now it's localhost project 4, then file 1. No, I don't want to run file 1. In fact, let me just remove this file 1 here like that. Then let me just run project 4. Inside project 4, there is this file 2. Let me just hit on file. Like right now, you see our file 2 has nothing. has nothing that is being displayed right there. The reason as to why it has nothing right now and we have something, in fact, we are even implementing the echo, is because this is just a definition of what we want to use. We are not actually using this yet. So for you to use this function, sorry, for you to use this function, you use a concept called maybe calling a function. Yeah, so to call a function in PHP, you simply type out the name of that function. Yeah, so like right now, if I want to call motor function, I just type out motor function like that, period. So that if I come back now and refresh, yeah, you see it has already worked. It has already worked. Yeah, so when you call that function, this is exactly what is going to appear. Yeah, you see. Now, what will happen if I called it, like, say, 2 times? Let me type it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I have called that function how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So definitely I'm going to expect that I see this statement 6 times. Yeah, like that. Like that. Yeah, so whenever you create a function and you want to use it, just create the function and call it like the way we have called it right there. Now, assuming let's in fact, I don't want to call it this so many times. Let me just say maybe I've called it 2 times. Yeah, because right now you guys now understand what is calling a function. Yeah, so again, let me create another function down here. Maybe let's say function, maybe average function, then right away, maybe let's say maybe variable x equals to 10, variable y equals to maybe say 20, and variable z equals to something like say 30. Then variable answer maybe equals to, I want to divide these 3, so let me just put them in bracket and add them first. Maybe variable x plus variable y plus variable z divided by 3, because that's now the average. Then I can just say maybe echo your average is, then I concatenate. I can concatenate the answer from outside, or I can just put the answer inside here. Yeah, I can just put the answer either inside here, inside there, or I can sorry guys, or I can just concatenate it outside there, or I can just concatenate it right outside here, like that. Yeah, for as long as I put a dot. So, but in this case, yeah, I think let me leave it like this with a concatenation. Yeah, so that right now, if I call the average function, let me just, because right now, if I refresh my page, there's no average thing right there. So let me call it outside the function. So let me call the average function like that. So if I call the average function, let me see what's going to say. Yeah, your average is 20 because it has taken 10 plus 20 plus 30. Then because this is 10 plus 20, 30, 30 plus 30, 60, 60 divided by 3 is 20. Yeah, it has gotten the right answer. Yeah. So if I wanted to call it 3 times, I will definitely call this average like 2, 3 times if I wanted. But meanwhile, I don't actually want to call it those 3 times. So in fact, let me also put a break here, because echo a break. Let me just echo a BR. Let me echo a BR right there. BR. Yeah, your average is 20, your average is 20. But now, some people will want, actually, it is desirable that when we call such like a function, we want these values, 10, 20, and to be given by the user, to be provided by the user, because right now, if we call that function so many times, it is just going to be giving us only one answer. But we want to be calling this function or such like a function, then to get the values from the user. Yeah, so maybe this, to get such like a function, this is how you do it. This is how you go. this is how you go about such like a function. So right away, maybe let me say, maybe I'm declaring maybe function, some function, maybe maybe user underscore details function. Maybe this is a function that is going to get the details from the user, so that whenever this function is going to be called, let me just have maybe variable n comma variable a. So once we declare this variable, this function like this, and we pass in these two, actually these two are called parameters. Yeah, these are called parameters. So these variables that are actually on the bracket of a function like this, they are called parameters. So if you hear any developer outside there talking about a parameter, let it never give you any issue. Yeah, let it never give you any issue. Just know that this is a parameter. Yeah, these are the parameters right there. So that we can say maybe, maybe let's say this N stands for name and A stands for age. So we can just try to echo something like, say, echo hello, maybe variable N, you are variable A, years old. Now, where do you think we are going to get these variable N and variable A? So that means we need to call that function and provide these two values here. So for example, I'll just come down here and say maybe call user details function. And right away, you see it is already even auto-suggesting to me that I need a value that will take over the place of N. And the place of N, I can put there anything like, say, maybe I can put there the name like, say, King. Then after a comma. And take note, guys, take note. When I just put there the quotation marks like that, this N, this simple N with a colon there, is appearing automatically. Let me not hear someone typing there and colon like that, and is seeing such like an error, and it's like mine is not working. No. That kind of a thing appears automatically. Then let me just put there like, say, maybe King. Then let me put here after a comma, let me put there 100. So you see right now, when I put there the King like this, and I have called the user details function, so in the position of N, it is going to put there King. So that means it's like we are saying hello, King. Then in the position of A, that means after a comma, after this comma, I need to provide the A. So in the position of A, I've provided 100. So it is going to say hello, King. Then you are, then A in the position of A, we have 100. You are 100 years old. And that's exactly what is going to happen. Yeah, let me just refresh and see. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, hello, King, you are 100 years old. You are 100 years old. In fact, let me echo a break right here. Break right there. Then let me call the user details again with other details. Maybe again user details. Then this time around, let me put there done. Maybe after a comma, let's put there maybe 1 or 2. Yeah. Then when I refresh again, you'll see something like hello Dan. Yeah, hello Dan. You are 102 years old. Then what else? Maybe I can even call it the third time, user details. Then maybe let's say maybe Marianne. Then maybe 105. Yeah. Then right away when I refresh these, you see, hello Marianne, you are 105 years old. Now let me ask you a question, guys. What if we called the user details function, then just provide one value like, say, maybe Mark, without providing the second one? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Let's watch out for this and see. Yeah. So right away, if I run this, voila, it breaks. It actually breaks. It says unquote argument. It is unquote argument quote error. Too few arguments to function. User details. Yeah, too few functions. In fact, we have provided one, we have just provided one, and yet what was expected, and exactly two expected. So that means we have only given one, and yet we are supposed to give two. So that means whenever you declare a function and you give the details right up there, that means when you call the function, you need to also provide an equivalent number of uh, arguments right there. So I can put something like maybe 106 like that. Yeah. So that, yeah, clearly that way it's going to run. Clearly, yeah. Hello, Mark. You are 106 years old. Now let's do one more. Let's just do one more, maybe to calculate the simple interest of a person. Yeah. Maybe let's just say function, maybe simple underscore, simple underscore interest. Then the simple interest, we are going to expect the user to give us variable P, variable R, variable T. Then right away, we say now variable interest equals to, we can have a principal variable P times variable R times variable T divided by 100. Then we can just print. We can just echo variable. We can say your interest is variable interest like that. Yeah. Then we can also echo a break right down there. We can echo a BR. You can just echo a BR right there. Yeah. Then right away, let me just call the interest down here. Let me call the interest. Let me call the interest line right down here. So let me just say simple interest. So I'm expected to provide the value of our principal. So maybe principal is 1,000. Then the value of R, the rate of maybe 12%. Then the value for T, maybe time is maybe 5 years, like that. So if I try to refresh this, it's going to tell me, your interest is 600. It has actually already calculated for me. Already. Yeah. So if I call the simple, the reason as to why we create such like functions is for us to be able to take the values from the user in this manner. And as you can see, the P and the R and the T, they are automated. You don't need to type those. Like for example, let me again call it with this function with different values. Maybe 3,000. Sorry. Yeah. As you can see, the P already comes. Then the rate may be 45% maybe interest. And then the time maybe for 34 years, maybe such like a thing. So that when I refresh these, yeah, your interest is 459,000. Yeah, that is the interest. The interest is 459,000. So clearly, you can do a simple interest function like this, and you can pass through parameters just like the same way we have. Like you can create it with attributes or properties like that. Then whenever you call it, you need to pass through those arguments inside there. Those arguments right inside there. Now we can just try one more function and see how it works. Yeah. So right away we can say something like maybe function maybe volume, or maybe cylinder volume, cylinder underscore volume function, cylinder volume function. Yeah, maybe. So the volume of the cylinder, definitely we are going to require maybe variable height, maybe variable radius, then variable h for maybe the height. Then the volume, so we can say maybe variable volume equals to maybe pi. pi. So we have actually, PHP has got a pi function. So I can just say maybe pi, this pi. This pi right here is if when I just do pi function like that, is as good as saying 3.142. So instead of typing 3.142, let me just say pi r squared. So r squared. So pi r squared times h. So instead of doing the r squared, I can just use the PHP function for power, the function for power. So if, let me ask you guys, if I power r with 2, if I power r by 2, what will I be meaning? Is like I'm saying take this r, then power 2 is as good as saying r squared. Yeah, this is as good as saying if I just take r power 2, is like I'm saying r squared. Yeah, r power 2 is like r squared, then times a height, times a h, this variable h right there. Yeah, so this is a more sensible way of how to do a calculation. So you see pi, instead of typing there 3.142, we are just using the pi PHP function, then times r squared. So instead of doing r squared, we can do a power. Yeah, we can do a power of r, then we power 2. Or if you wanted r cubed, you can just put there a 3. If you wanted maybe r raised to power 4, you can just change that. But meanwhile, we just want r squared, then multiplied by a h. Yeah. Or alternatively, if you don't want to use the power, like this, you can just say maybe variable r squared. So squared, you use double stars, then you put a 2. Yeah, this is r squared. Yeah, you put 2 stars, then power 2, or you can say power 3, or power 4, or power 5, or power 6, or power 7. Whichever way you want to use, it's okay. But the cheapest one, you can just use the PHP power function. Yeah, you can use the cheapest PHP power function, whereby you simply say power our r by 2. Yeah, it's like saying r squared, then times a height. Then instead of now echoing the volume, you can use another technique called return. You return the volume. Now, what we have done is, you see, this other one, like say the simple interest, we are echoing. No wonder when we just call the function like that, automatically the result is printed because it has been echoed out on the function when we are declaring. But right now, there is no echo. There is nothing like echo. Instead, is when we do the return, is like we are telling the cylinder volume function that, please, cylinder volume, whenever you have been called, please give out this. Yes, return is like I'm telling it, please, cylinder, whenever you have been called by anyone, just give out this. No wonder if I just come here and say and call cylinder volume like this, then I provide the radius maybe like that, then the height like that. If I try to run this, there is nothing that I will see. Ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing that I will see right down there. Why? Because there is nowhere. I'm printing. Because there is nowhere on this function I am printing. Instead, this has got the result. So right away, I will rather now say echo. I would say echo cylinder like that. Yeah, I will actually print this volume function, cylinder volume function, because it is coming with the result inside there. So right now, if I just print out these, when I refresh these, yeah, you see, it has already given me that result. Why is it giving me that result? It is because I am able now, is because I am able to print out the result. And the result is coming through this return. So whenever we call the cylinder function, we will have called plus the volume. Yeah. So is like whenever we call it, we just get the volume out of that. Whenever we call it, we just get the volume out of that, because it is the volume that is being returned whenever we call that function. So yeah, the same way we can just say echo your volume is, then we can concatenate with a dot outside there. Yeah, we can concatenate. We can concatenate with a dot outside there. So that right away, we can just say, yeah, your volume is that one, right? Right there. Yeah, your volume is that. So I can even also call another one. Let me echo a break. Echo a break. Or instead of being echoing these breaks on new lines, can't I just concatenate a break here? Like say dot, then I put the quotation marks like that, then I concatenate a break there. Can't I? Can't I just do that? Yeah, that is okay. That is actually okay. So that let me also again echo another down here. Echo, then your second volume is, then let me concatenate the cylinder volume function here, then maybe that one and that one, then let me concatenate another break outside here, another break, just so that whenever I do the next thing, it will go on a new line, instead of continuing to be printing echoes after every line. So that when I refresh this one here, yeah, your second volume, yeah, your second volume is this one right here. Yeah, your second volume is right there. So ladies and gentlemen, clearly you see we have created a cylinder volume, and instead of printing, we return the value. But these others, we have just been printing directly. So whichever way you would like to work with functions, just know, yeah, there are different ways of doing functions, and you can return a value, or you can just do the execution with a print right away, just like that. But meanwhile, yeah, so when it comes to user-defined functions, yeah, it is going to work just like that. As you can see, pi, this pi is a PHP function, which we have just called. Then this power is also a PHP function, which we have used, yeah. And yeah, but the cylinder volume function is our own function, yeah. So clearly that's it for user defined functions. So it is now upon you to launch into the deep. So yeah, that's it about the custom functions using PHP. There is a lot to be done, but yeah, for as long as you know how it works like this, yeah, it's now upon you to do the rest. Now, one last thing is about arrays, yeah. So we would like to look at how to work with arrays, but ladies and gentlemen, we've done literally a lot in this class, so I think let's just call it a day for today. Then in our previous class, we will pick up from here. Just right here, so that after we have done the arrays, we will see how to print the arrays using the for each loop, just as I had promised. So that's it for today, guys. See you in our tomorrow's class.